been on this side.
Call meeting to order. Let's start the pledge of allegiance from Wilson, will lead us in prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we come to you as humble as we know how tonight. Father, we're just looking for guidance as the city council attempts to take care of the business of the city of Leesburg. I pray, Lord, that you grant unto us the wisdom and the knowledge, Lord, to lead us in the right direction and do the things that's good for the overall condition of the city of Leesburg. Certainly take care of those that are hurting across our community. Thank you again for the blessing of life.
The first item on the agenda is consideration and approval of the minutes from May 4th.
Make a motion to approve minutes from May 4th.
Got a motion by Mr. Johnson, is there a second? Second by Mr. Bush, all in favor of approving the minutes from May 4th? Unanimous. We need to have a public hearing on citywide rezoning. Is there a motion to have a public hearing? What's the motion to have a public hearing for a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Long. Public hearing is now open. Mr. Alexander, is this you?
I'll turn it over to Marshall, our zoning administrator, to discuss that.
The map that's here before you, if anyone haven't seen it, is the map that was proposed with the changes, I think, from the city council, or from the review committee that we have for the city zoning map. On the first page, it looks like this is what the planning commission had suggested when they had met and considered this issue. You'll also see additional C2 around the Leesburg bypass, and now there's adding more neighborhood business district to Robert E. Lee, north of Robert E. Lee Beach, that Park Street, and also, of course, off Linden Road here. There hasn't been any changes to this map since we last met.
And that came before the planning and zoning.
This is their recommendation. Yes.
Okay.
The other match will be presented.
This is what was presented to the planning commission. They had suggested changes, and that's why you have two different maps here. Does council have any questions about any particular property?
We have the option of accepting the one planning commission yet or the one city council.
Yes, and you can also make your own amendments to the map at this time. So anybody that wants to make a motion to add or change a particular property can do that now. Or leave like it is.
But the changes that were made on the first map were made through recommendations that were brought to the planning. So the process was.
Well, the planning commissioners themselves made these changes. These aren't.
They went back and looked at an older map
Yes.
and said, oh, let's add this back in here, let's.
Okay. So it wasn't requested.
No, it's not.
Okay. Yes.
Their suggestions how they think it would be best developed for rezone.
So if there are people that want to make the change back the way it was, then all they have to do is go through the proper channels or submit it, the recommendation.
The council
And-
can suggest a change itself.
Make that
or
motion.
go back to it.
Which one was that? What was your motion, Scoot?
Did you?
No,
Oh,
she did, she
no,
made a motion.
I just said,
Oh,
if they wanted to change back to the top one, they would have to go make the recommendation in the planning and zoning.
They would have to show up at.
Right, make it-
Show the marshal's office, give Marshall some money,
Yeah.
fill paperwork out, Marshall would make a recommendation, it would go to the planning commission would do something, and then come to us.
Essentially, indication about the
Right.
property owner.
There's one area over there on Third Street, I believe, that is zoned, on this map, is zoned commercial. And it's really, later on, probably that's a good idea, but right now, it's residential.
It's
And I
always
would
been.
recommend that we make that change before adopting this map.
Do we need to do that after the close public hearing?
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yes,
Okay.
no, you can do exactly that. Is there any more discussion, any more questions for Marshall? Did everybody turn the phones off? Yeah, Ms. Johnson.
Jim, are we going to have to go over and petition them to change that back to residential, our property? Because we never signed anything for it to be put as commercial.
Depending on what passes, yes ma'am or no ma'am. If we pass one of these two maps as is, yes, you would have to.
Well, on both of them, it's
Right.
commercial.
If we adopt one of the other maps with this change, and the change being yours, no, you would not have to.
Okay.
How will we know that it has been done?
We gotta finish the public hearing first, and then whatever the vote is,
All right.
and they can entertain your comment at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? Is there a motion to close the public hearing? Sorry. Okay, motion by Mrs. Moss, second by Mr. Wilson to close the public hearing. Is there any action y'all like to take tonight? You got the motion to adopt.
We're all in favor of closing.
Yeah, sorry, thank you. All in favor? Okay. Thank you. All in favor of closing?
So that change I was talking about,
So you,
that's always been residential.
you would like to adopt that map. Marshall, what do you call this map?
Oh, well, we can just label them as exhibits if you
Okay.
want. Call this map from the committee as Exhibit A.
Don't leave, stay right there. Okay. You make a motion to
Yeah.
adopt A
Or
with,
yeah,
with the change, Marshall.
from commercial to, back to residential. I know at some later date it may go back to commercial, but if and when it does, it will go through due process and then it will be changed, but for right now, it was residential and that's what I would propose to go back to.
Now, do you mean the whole block, which would include the point where the commercial business already is, or just that little?
And where commercial already is, I can't change that, just the residential section.
So all that area, that whole triangle between Highway 195, Smithville Avenue, and Third Street.
Except for the very triangle at where Sweet Buns was.
All right.
Yeah.
So that would be reflected as residential.
That's my little motion.
That's his motion. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Bush. Does everyone understand the motion? Do you understand the motion, Marshall?
I do, sir.
Okay. Point out that. Yeah, Marshall, Mr. Fletcher's trying to. Mr. Fletcher, there's currently 2 or 3 houses right there. And it's zoned, depending on what map you look at, it's zoned commercial.
Thank you.
So we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?